Washington, 2023, 29% increase in homicides, 67 increase percent in robberies. I'm confused. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is a channel where we find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. It's your boy, Big Blue. So I literally just did a video, not too long ago, a couple days ago, in regards to DC. I wasn't trying to do too much more of it, but I need to call a lie where I see a lie, or some weirdness when I see some weirdness. I do it with, it doesn't matter who it is. If you're doing some interesting, weird stuff, I'm going to call it out. And this kind of what's happening right now. So big thing in DC, National Guard being on the ground, walking the streets and stuff like that. You have your left side that's upset and outraged, going out protesting and stuff like that. Then you have your right side that's like, yeah, no, good. We needed this. The big thing that the left was saying, their biggest thing, 30% or like 25% decrease in crime over the last 3 years, all that stuff. And in the video, I mentioned how you can say that it's 30, 25%, but that doesn't mean that the number is low. The number could still be high even after a 25, 30% decrease. And surprisingly enough, I was actually watching Nate the lawyer, and he mentioned something that was pretty interesting. So apparently during these years, these 2-3 years, that crime had decreased, there were news reports that say otherwise. Let's go ahead and check them out.
We need help. We need everybody. This is worse than the 80s.
You worrying about your child every day. They come out the house to go to school. It's like, okay, is my child at school safe? Did they make it home from school safe?
Concerns like those voiced by Kiara Moore are the reasons DC leaders are going door to door. Kiara's family lives in Union Heights. She's worried about raising her 2 sons in a city she says is plagued with crime.
Back when I was coming up, we was able to come outside and go play without worrying about getting shot.
This video was 2 years ago under the Biden administration and during the time when crime was apparently down.
DC leaders are feeling the pressure to stop the violence as the city's murder rate continues to climb at a staggering pace. The majority of those homicides remain unsolved and the cases are piling up. News 4's Mark Seagraves continues our team coverage and takes a closer look at the numbers, including the 8 additional deaths that were classified as homicides on the same day.
Another 2 killings last night and a 16-year-old high school student gunned down on Tuesday brings the number of homicides in D.C. to 212 so far this year, far outpacing previous years. Despite the increasing numbers, last night, Acting Chief Pamela Smith told reporters violent crime is going down.
Over the last 30 to 60 days, we've come down in a lot of those areas where some of these violent crime activities have been occurring. We will continue to do what we're doing in this space with our law enforcement partners. According to police, between August 26th to September 24th, homicides went down 37%. Robberies down 23%, and carjackings down 27%, all compared to the previous 30 days. The police department also provided News 4 the closure rate for homicides. The most recent data reveals the vast majority of cases this year remain unsolved.
70, let me bring that back. 70% of 2023 homicides remained unsolved. I don't know how crime is down to 30%, 25%, with 70% of your cases remaining unsolved. But what do I know?
Unsolved. Of 209 of the homicides so far this year, 28% have been closed, leaving 72% of this year's cases unsolved.
If 70% of your cases are being unsolved, where's the decrease in the crime? I'm confused.
In her confirmation hearing yesterday, the acting chief testified due to low staffing levels, her department is stretched beyond its maximum capacity. At last night's murder scene, the chief was asked if she has enough staff to investigate the growing number of violent crimes.
It is a very extensive caseload as more crime is happening and as a lot of homicides are occurring. It is certainly extensive, but we're always evaluating the caseload for our officers and our detectives.
Now that video also last year.
controversial thing. This is a way that
This video also last year.
violent criminals, domestic terrorists, people involved in school shootings are getting guns. This is not a hard thing to address.
Washington, 2023, 29% increase in homicides, 67 increase percent in robberies. I'm confused. Guys, this isn't fake news. This is a news information that came out last year. Not under Trump, under Biden, right? Under Biden administration. They were saying that crime was up, but now crime is down. How? Please explain to me.
Treat them like any other firearms rather than have an special exclusion. So that would be first and foremost what I would recommend. We also need more resources for local efforts to address this. Many of the problems are very localized, and a lot of systems are under resourced. I'm not talking about law enforcement only. I'm talking about community interventions to engage with those highest risk youth. So I think those are two areas where we can definitely have an impact. But yes, we need to do far more, and it's going to take a while.
And the best part, look at this. DC council member calls for National Guard to help fight crime. This was 2 years ago.
That he has also spoken with the National Guard to find out what they need in a request, which is a very clear definition of how many members, what they'd be doing, and the length of time needed. The mayor previously pushed back when I had asked her after the July 4th mass shooting why violence then didn't constitute calling the National Guard. Councilmember White noted today that a lot of the shootings are also happening right in front of police officers. He wants the presence of armed, sworn military members who have police arresting powers. And he also raised concerns today about the issue of not enough police officers to patrol Southeast. So we did also ask about the council reportedly moving funds or moving to defund police in 2020.
That's not true. The police budget has not decreased in the 7 years I've been on the council. In fact, it has increased. And while the budget has increased, guess what also increased? The crime in the community.
But it was an increase that wasn't approved by the council for fiscal year 2021. So was there a mistake on the council?
There was not a mistake. We believe that police is not the end-all solution to addressing crime in our city. And as you know, that those resources reallocated to social service programs.
So look, y'all, again, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Trump is right, Trump this, Trump that, all that stuff. I'm not a Trumpy by no means whatsoever. I'm an individual that, again, focuses on the truth. We're talking about a situation where the president called something out. Maybe it was because the icing on the cake was somebody from his agency from Doge that got jumped and robbed, and he just decided, all right, we need to do something about this. Yeah, maybe that was the one that made him start this. But the fact of the matter is, the cry for help was done before, during the Biden administration. And did Biden help? No. So, I mean, again, we've seen videos. There's plenty of videos out there, people on both sides that say they didn't need help, that say they do need help. But a lot of people that say that they do need help complain that there was high crime, as opposed to the ones that did say they don't need help, don't say that there's no crime, but they're just trying to defend people because they don't like Trump, is my assumption. Because once again, Trump is doing something that could have been done under the Biden administration, but they didn't do it, but he did it, but everybody's upset. Same way how Trump is deporting, illegal immigrants. People don't like the way that he's going about it or the way that he's talking about it and stuff like that, which I get, but we still forget that Obama, during his presidency, deported way more people, but we don't give him no slack for that. None. It was kind of just under the rug. That's just my thoughts. That's just my perspective. I'm just here to make sure people know that there was a need and there still is a need. Do I think that, again, I'm not in DC, but the crime was definitely high. As far as I'm talking about, the crime rate is down 25%, whatever that number was. Now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if that number is true. And if that's the case, then their whole spiel about it wasn't needed, crime is down, this is just a hoax, I don't. It's kind of hard for me to believe and hard for me to really, take that as facts now, because literally during the years they said from 23 to 25, it's been down. We literally just seen from 2 years ago, from a year ago, their numbers, and nothing said anything about it being down. But hey, that's where we're at. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.